Good evening. Thank you all for coming. We're gonna wait just a little bit longer, but I'll turn my microphone on because we're expecting about 100 tonight, so we're gonna see how we go. I don't know if anyone, how many of you have been on these types of information sessions before and these training types calls, and you know that often if you get 100 on the list, a good chunk of them turn up, but not always. Not all turn up. It's sort of a flip of a coin. But we've got some good numbers coming in at the moment. Really good to see you all popping in. Got some new faces, got some faces that I see every day. Rest assured this is a live session, so I see there's Andoni. Is that how you say your name, mate? That's right.
Andoni, that's correct.
Andoni.
Andoni.
Great. That was
Thank you.
I've been yeah, I always try to get the pronunciations right. That's good. Thank you for joining us tonight.
My
And
pleasure.
I see Krisha and Christian, and we got Pamela on, and we got Marie, uh, Dinah, we got Bevelyn, Catherine. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this very fine Thursday evening. And I'm happy to see you all on. I hope you'll jump onto the camera with us shortly, just to because it will be a bit of an interactive session where we want to give you some value on the space of becoming a virtual assistant. And my dog always makes a special appearance because he sees that I'm starting the call and I'm starting to talk. Come here, Buffett. Ah, ah. He gets one hello, and that's it. This is Mr. Wilfred. And every time he sees me starting a call, ever since he was a 5 week old puppy, he's now over 4 years, he has to come over and say hello. So uh, he's not like he was at 5 weeks old anymore though. He's now 30 kilos of Rolly. But we may get started. And in another 2 minutes, just give people a good chance to jump on because our numbers, I can't even fit you all on the screen at the moment. So I'm going to have to scroll down a little bit. Need a bigger screen, especially if we get our 100 this evening. Give it another 2 minutes because people might be a bit delayed and because sometimes you click in and it lets one person in before the other. So just one more minute, one more minute. You only get one turn. You only get one turn. I want to get one of the chairs that you can build up and you can sit on a he can sit on a cushion next to me while I do the call, and then I don't need to lift him up anymore. Cool. I'll get started then. If and if anyone drags in after, that's all good. So my name's Daniel Bramblecombe, and welcome to an introduction to becoming a successful virtual assistant. Because nobody just wants to be, if somebody wants to be a virtual assistant, they don't just want to be a virtual assistant, they want to be a successful one. So that's what this is really all about. It's about those skills and those strategies and those that knowledge bites that is all about becoming a successful virtual assistant. And that's really what we offer within our trainings and everything else we do. Uh, well, of course, my name is Daniel Brimelcombe, for those who have never seen or known me before. And I've been employing people in the Philippines for over 10 years now. And I have hired people from other countries, and I've hired people from India. I've even had years ago, many years ago, we had somebody in Israel doing work for us as well. But Philippines is always my favorite. The Filipinos are always amazing workers, and now I don't hire from anywhere else. And you might notice it might there might be some clues, but I am Australian, so I'm not actually in the Philippines. But I do love it over there, and I'm looking forward to returning very soon. But being in Australia, I take on a lot of Australian clients, USA clients, and the clients UK. Had a CEO in Germany. I've had actual companies in India outsourced to me as well. And of course, I run a business called Brimble Recruitment Group. I also run Brimble Media. So we do marketing. We're a marketing agency as well as a recruiting firm. And now we're also starting off Brimble Certified, which is training in the Philippines to help Filipinos get the skills that they need to get employment. And whether we give some of our training away for free, some of our training is paid, and then we also place people with experience with employers and so on. So I'm not. I know that I've read some of the responses. I can't. Of course, I didn't memorize over 100 of them, and I'm not sure how many of that 100 are on the call tonight. But we had a different, varied skills where some people wanted to expand on their business as a virtual assistant. Maybe you started out, maybe you haven't had great success, or maybe you're exploring it and moving away to a different career. And there's all of those are perfectly great and amazing, and the information is perfectly valuable for whatever stage you're at. So give it a bit of a click. I will just start off with it. I've done the welcome and overview. We're going to talk about the key skills of a virtual assistant. We're going to talk about the types of VA services. I know that when we ran the session last time, there was a lot of surprise in the session around the actual types of jobs that you can get. Because being a VA is very broad, but I'm excited, and I could go into that right now, but I'm going to hold myself back, or we'll just sit here for 20 minutes talking on that one topic. But we're going to talk about building a professional presence. We're going to talk about essential tools and platforms, and we're going to open up to a bit of Q&A and discussion. I would encourage that when we do open things up, and we encourage you to jump on, definitely engage in this, because if you're not used to talking to crazy Australians, it's a good skill to build up at it, because essentially, if you want to be really truly successful in an online space, the more that you can talk, the more you can communicate, the more you can jump on and you can talk to people in a style like this of Zoom calls, the more successful you're going to be. So I encourage it, and whatever the outcome is, whether we do things together in the future or you go in a different way, I want you to be successful. So whatever value you get out of this call is exceptionally amazing to me. So give it another click. We'll talk about the just a few house rules for tonight. Stay focused, so no TikToks. My phone is over here, but I like to throw it over there because I sometimes get distracted by that phone, and it's yeah. We all have an addiction these days to scrolling through and doing those TikTok dances. Engage in the chat. So there is a chat button on your platform down the bottom, and you can click on that and you can chat with the group. Feel free to drop a few really key takeaways, like it says in there. Uh, yeah, so participate actively, treat it like an in person. We're in the same room together right now, so let's engage, let's discuss, let's have fun. And note those key takeaways in the chat just in case people miss it. Stay hydrated. Make sure you keep that water in, because the brain sits in the water. Keep a pen and paper ready. I've always got my pen and paper ready, and take comfort breaks as needed. It's not quite as much as our intensive trainings were that we were all. I was blah 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 for 3 hours, so we won't be quite that long tonight. It'll be a good 45 minutes at least, and then note any questions for when I take a breather. And yeah, something I always like to start off with in every single session. So if you've done sessions with us before or you've never done a session with us before, is that you'll know that I start off every session with mindset because everything about success in your life starts off in the mind, and you got to think beyond your limits. Imagine endless opportunities worldwide from right there in the Philippines. It says from here, but I'm over here and you're over there at the moment. But right there, wherever you are, you've got endless, limitless possibilities. And sometimes the culture of the past has held you in that box, thinking that you're not able to go further than what you are, but your opportunities are endless in this world. Your income today doesn't have to be your income tomorrow. Your income tomorrow doesn't have to be your income for life and your lifestyle. You've got so many opportunities. Strive for excellence because every step forward counts. Smaller daily improvements lead to big change. Whatever that improvement is in your life, whatever it is in that, whatever it may be, learning a new skill each time you improve a little bit lead to big change. So don't discount anything. And even if you're not, even if you look at something today, because I remember from running our other sessions, we have people going, "Oh, gee, I got to be good at everything." I said, "No, no, no. You don't have to be good at everything. Just take those incremental increases and just learn as you go. And whatever you get to is, as long as you've got that, as long as you're striving for excellence, then you know that you're going to get there. And embrace that resilience and that Bayan Ihan spirit, which is your culture, and it's all about being resilient and growing, and basically moving towards success together. Because you rise higher. Don't ever forget that. That's part of being a Filipino. That you've got that spirit inside you. That you know that your people have worked hard over the years, and you can build amazing things together and individually. So, and take action with purpose. So you're here with purpose. I congratulate you all for joining me here, which means that you've turned up out of 100 people. We have a good 13 of the registrations, which is whatever number turns up. I give you all my very best for the evening. So but the fact that you've turned up is that one step towards those goals, and you've taken action with purpose, and you should be patting yourself on the back because you're doing things that others won't to have what others don't. So let's give that another click. I also like to do a mindset reading at the start of every session because I do like to in program that knowledge into the mind and really be you've got to visualize and see what you want to be. So I like to start off the session. We set the mood right. So, welcome everyone to our free intro session for the VA course. You're here because you're ready to open new doors, explore new opportunities, and build a skill set that has the potential to transform your life. Today is your starting point, a chance to dive in, discover what's possible, and gain valuable insight into the world of virtual assistants. This session is all about setting you up for success, giving you the tools, the knowledge, and the confidence to take the bold steps forward. By the end of today, you'll have a clear understanding of what it takes to thrive as a VA and the incredible freedom and flexibility that this career has can offer. Sorry, my dog's running at me while I'm reading, and he's trying to get me to play with a toy. Stay open, stay engaged, and remember, you're here to grow. Take notes, ask questions, and absorb everything you can. The journey starts here, and every step you take today moves you closer to a future with limitless potential. Let's make the most of this time together and kickstart something truly extraordinary. We're excited to have you here and can't wait to see where this path leads. Uh, leads you. Let's dive in. And I'd like to just acknowledge my three amazing Filipino angels that help me every single day. My VAs, they're in the group right now, which are Joy, Liza, and Ana. You'll see them in the chat at the moment, and you'll probably hear a bit from them later. And some of you might have even spoken to them as well that in the lead up to this. And a lot of the time, if you've got a question, they will tend to answer that question for you, external to sessions. So, on that account, I was just going to get everyone to have that opportunity to say hello on the stream. Just we're gonna do it not too long, but a couple like 30 30 seconds each. If somebody wants to jump on, let us know your name, where you're from, what your goal is for being here, and experience whether you're new or established in the industries. Anyone at all. Yes, go for it. Adoni?
Hi, my name is Andoni. I'm from Cebu City, the Philippines. I hope that I can learn a lot more about being a virtual assistant from this course, as I've never become a virtual assistant at all.
Perfect.
First, pleased to meet you all.
Yes. Well, you're already doing really well. You jumped onto the foot cam, so that's one huge step forward. Would anyone else like to jump in and introduce themselves? Yes, Dinah?
Hello. Hello. This is Christian. Is it okay that I
My God,
just
I'm
audio?
sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it okay, sir?
Jump it. Yeah,
Okay.
go for it, Christian. All good.
Okay. My name is Christian. I'm from Davao City. I do have an experience in video editing and graphic design, but not a virtual assistant. My goal is to learn about this kind of niche and hope I can learn more about it. So thank you.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, graphic design is a great skill to have that really crosses over into this space and gives you that certain amount of extra edge on other people that are being virtual assistants because it's definitely a skill that's very well utilized. I've actually got a diploma in graphic design myself because when I first started out of business before I got smart and started hiring more people in the Philippines is I found that I needed to do a lot of things myself. And I'm just going to prove that you can record those notes. That's fine. So if anyone wants to use that AI note recorder, that's all good as well. Uh, so I just approved all that if anyone's turning that on. But yeah, so that's great. So there's definitely a crossover of skills because you'll find over this that being a virtual assistant is very broad in a lot of areas. Um, I will. Anyone else would like to jump in and say hi before we move to the next stage?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm Dinah Martinez. I'm from the Philippines, and my goal is to establish my learnings in AVA course. And for now, I'm new in this course, and but I have an experience as a customer service representative.
Great. Welcome,
That's all.
Donna. That's very good. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for sharing.
Very
And we got Krisha.
Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good evening. We were looking at you, now we're looking at the wall.
You're looking at the wall. There you go. Hello.
Hello. That's all good. We're listening.
My name is Mary Grace Lunet. I am from Pasig, Philippines. My goal from the course is to know what virtual assistant is. My experience for now, I am an executive secretary, the current position. So I want to learn more about what virtual assistant is doing. That's all.
Perfect. That's great. Well, that's what we're here for tonight. So it appears I'm going to answer everyone's questions. So I'm on the right track. We're in the right room. Would anyone else like to jump in before I click to the next slide? Feel free. Okay, that's all good. We'll give it a click, but thank you for sharing. Everyone will still have an opportunity later to jump on with me here, and I'll give this a click. So today we're jumping on for an introduction to being to virtual assistants. So I see that well the common thing is where normally at this stage we had been asking if somebody could define a virtual assistant, but I think I'm going to do that tonight because I can see that so many asking that burning question of what a virtual assistant is. And I'll tell you what, well, it does say here a definition, which is the virtual assistant is a professional who provides various administrative, technical, or creative support services remotely. Unlike traditional assistants who work on site, VAs operate from different locations, often utilizing digital tools and technology to complete their tasks. And I can tell you that virtual assistants come in a lot of different categories. And a virtual assistant is narrowed down to just one role. There's so many different services that you can offer to a client in so many different ways. And to give you an example of my team, talking about virtual assistants, which we'll go into this even more detail shortly, is that I've got my three, and they all play to their strengths. And normally, Joy handles my operations and she does a fair bit of my social media. I've got Liza who does a lot of my outreach and appointment setting. So those are all like social media, appointment setting, they're all specialized roles. And Aina is more of a creative and she'll do a lot of my artwork and a lot of my video editing. And these all these tasks actually come under the banner of being a virtual assistant. You don't have to be able to do all of them. Can be strong in certain
Laptop
ones.
namin.
Sorry. Marizon?
Ah, sorry. I'm just talking to my daughter.
Okay, that's all good. That's all good. So, by a virtual assistant, comes under a lot of different categories. And by this definition, because really, if you're working for a business and you're their go-to assistant, you could be working for a lot of different types of businesses. You could be doing it for a small business in Australia, which you could be managing their social media or their bookings or their scheduling. There could be a doctor's surgery, and you could be managing their bookings and their social media, and also some of their correspondence. So it comes under a lot of different tasks. And this is where you've got to find out where your strengths lie, and then it's matching with your ideal client, essentially. So the key responsibilities of virtual assistant really does, if you have an overview of these skills, then that's ultimately what a virtual assistant is. Having those overview of those administration tasks, those scheduling, email management, social media management, customer service support, research and data entry, and a lot more. There's appointment setting. There's all different roles that come under a virtual assistant. So such a broad role, and bringing into uh, different skills that you've had in the past and other things really narrowed down the businesses that you're prepared to align with. And so it's very much it's like but then also you think about that being a virtual assistant that you're offering value to a business. You're saving them time. Really, to me, the core thing of being a virtual assistant is doing things in order to take them off my list. So if you get into the state of mindset of being a virtual assistant that you want to help your client be more successful in what they do by doing the things that they don't have time to do or aren't matching their value. Because normally a virtual assistant, when you're entry level, when you're coming into the industry, you're looking to take those things, you're looking to add value and add profits into that business. But my part, I don't do all the things that Joy, Liza, and Aina do. It's not that I'm incapable of doing them as such, because I do train them on new skills in web. Like I've been teaching Liza how to do web development, and which is also in part could be a skill of a virtual assistant. And it's not that I can't do all those things. It's more if I delegate those out, I'm adding value to myself because then I can focus on the things like closing deals. I can network more. I can go to events. I can stand on stage. I can present in these kinds of formats, which adds more value to my business. So, if you talk about truly what a virtual assistant is, that you're being their assistant, you're taking those tasks away, you're encouraging them. The more skills that you're building up, you're saying to your employer, "Look, I can do this for you now. I can do that for you now. I can do this for you now. Your business is doing great. You're a successful virtual assistant because you're successful with me, and I think that's the growing relationship." So I think that that really sums up for virtual. Have you got anything else you like to add, Joy, that I see you've popped up on the screen?
Thank you, Daniel. Hello, everyone. For the virtual assistant, yes, there's a lot of scope, but mainly like what Daniel mentioned earlier, we have our own focus, and you would eventually discover your own strength, and you don't need to be good at everything, but you just have to do your passion and follow your heart. So for me, among the list, there's a lot of list, there's a lot of types of virtual assistants, but the most enjoyable for me would be number one is the social media. If you're creative and if you're fond of connecting to people, social media is the one for you. Aside from that, yes, customer service and admin tasks, those are the type of virtual assistants that I enjoyed the most. And on top of that, if your passion is with engaging with someone who's looking for a job, we also have a type of virtual assistant who does recruiting, onboarding, and if you enjoy to conduct the interviews, there's that's another field of virtual assistant that you'd eventually be learning once you have unlocked your knowledge and learning. So, in case right after the session, feel free to reach out to Daniel or to any one of us, and we're more than happy to assist you and walk you through the path of your choice. That's all, Daniel.
Yeah, that's great, Joy. But yes, you definitely find your strengths in this. And what I've found in the past is you won't have an employer like me. You won't tend to have an employer like me that's going to teach you in each of these different fields and then find your strengths. So a lot of the time, the reality of the situation is that you do need to find your own strengths and align yourself with the right opportunity for your virtual assistant ability. Because I did have joy doing web development with me, but I found that Liza had more of a flair for it. It's not that Joy's incapable of it; it's just not her flair area. It's not the area that she's passionate about. So but in my business, I look for the right people, and then I look for the right place for them. I don't I don't have the some employers won't have the patience for that, and they need to hire you for a certain task. So yes, I has anyone got any questions about? You can drop it in the chat, or you can jump on and ask me about the key responsibilities of virtual assistant at this point, because I want to make sure that we're staying in the bounds of the people on the call, because we make sure that we offer value to you. So anyone at all? That's that's all good. No worries. We can move to the next stage of this. So, talking about these are really skills needed to succeed as a VA, and these are very much just the bare basics that if you want to be a successful virtual assistant in this world, and these are things that you should really master because everything else can come. All the other creative tools, all the other things, directions that you can go on, whether you're going to do social media, where you're going to learn graphic design, Canva, whether you're going to learn video editing or anything like that, all those things don't outline these particular skills, and they might seem like common sense, very basic, very straightforward, but really they're very in depth. And we start off with communication skill, and this is something that we really go in depth in our other training, because communication is very much the key. Because if you don't communicate effectively with your client, or with people that you're working with, you're basically not going to get anywhere. And its communication is being clear, concise communication, ensuring that you understand the job that's required. Understanding partly communication skills is also understanding the culture of the client, because sometimes there's a miscommunication between ourselves, Australians or Americans, between Filipinos because of a cultural difference. Yep, that's good, Dinah, and that's great. Well, we're always improving. But yes, it's it's essential to also understand the cultural difference in the communication because at the same time, Australians will use a lot of slang in our talk, and sometimes I have to, even to this day, I still have to explain sometimes what I mean by certain things. Because if an Australian says to you that this weekend we're going to have a barbie, and a lot of people that means something very different in the Philippines, but over here it means that we're going to have a barbecue with family. So, but in Australia, it means very different things. So sometimes just a simple miscommunication, because you could even, an employer, for an example, could say to you that they're going to have a barbie for clients this weekend, and you'll go, what? What do you mean by that? So it's very much those communication, and then time management. Time management, you need to be able to set deadlines, whether they're self-imposed, employer-imposed. You need to know how to manage your days. And what I went in depth in this the other day with in another session, but essentially you need because if you can't manage your own time and your personal time, because unfortunately the Philippines do have that reputation that you run on island time, and you want to make sure that you don't bring that into your employment if you're going to be successful in this space. Because if you're not turning up on time for work, if you're not hitting the deadlines, if you're not communicating with your employer, you're not going to be successful in this space. Because you're not going to keep those roles as much. Uh, I am a little bit flexible with our creatives, because sometimes our creatives, not naming any names, can be a little bit more creative and be a little bit more flexible in the timing. But that's cool. That's cool because as long as you're delivering that result, but you want to keep improving in these areas. Technical proficiency, the basics, the bare basics. You're going to want to know how to use Google Workspace, which is the email. You want to know how to use those email inboxes. You want to know how to use Microsoft Office. You want to know how to use Google Docs. You want to know how to put a spreadsheet together. All very, 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 very easy tools, which can also lead into your time management and so on. And then also your problem solving abilities. You're going to want to be able to problem solve. Because if you can't problem solve, if you can't look at something, because what I always, I don't have to do this anymore, and I don't know if the girls realize that I used to do this. But when they told me that there was an issue with something or something didn't work, I'd actually say to them, "Well, what's the solution?" Because you want to go if you go to your employer with a problem, or your whether you're running your own business, whether you're doing that, you want to come to them with a solution. You don't want to, if you want to be successful in this space, you don't want to be going through life like this. Because a big complaint that we have from clients that we place VAs with, and if they're fighting through that, this is gold because this is gives you it puts you in the mind of the employer. So you want to really take note of this, that they say that all the VAs that they've had in the past need to be handheld for everything. And it's fair enough if you've got a problem that you can't really solve, but if you come to them with like three solutions that you think you could solve the problem with, that's perfect. And that also comes down to time management, communication, and knowing exactly what your task is, and making sure that you clarify at the very start instead of partway through the project and you haven't done it right. So you want to have that understanding in there. So yeah, that comes down to problem solving as well. Any questions on those skills? I think that's pretty uh, inclusive on those things, but those things are very much about being successful in this space. And it's yeah, it as I said, it seems simple from the front end, but it really when you dig into it, there's a lot of factors in there, and it really makes a big difference around communication. So there's no frustration amongst the your employers, or with you don't want to be frustrated with them because you haven't understood what the assignment is. And you always got to, yeah, touch on that communication again. That everyone's very different. Everyone's going to communicate in a different way. I've got a client at the moment, and he sends me things, and there's no context to it. And he sends me a thing and says, "What do you think?" And I go, "What do you mean? What do I think of this in a context that we should do this, or in a context that you think it's a bad idea?" So I've re-educated him on the fact that he has to give me context when he sends me something because I'm a busy man. I don't have time to guess. Communication comes down to cutting the guesswork and being a clear communicator. Cool. Would you like to say anything else on communication, Joy, while you're there, or any of those key skills?
For the communication skills, when I started to become a virtual assistant, I was first doing a face-to-face sales. So I was a medical representative, and I would honestly say that I wasn't that confident. The only goal that I wanted to deliver was to sell and to get prescription, and then eventually you guys all know how bad the traffic is, not just in Metro Manila, but it's mostly 90% of the Philippines. So that's where I started to work in a BPO because it's gonna be less traffic at night. And then I got tired of commuting, and then I've met Daniel. I actually found Daniel. It's actually a secret between Daniel and me. I found Daniel through um lead sourcing. I was sourcing some leads that I could sell to in Australia. And I saw his business name. So I called him. It was just a typical cold calling. And then eventually we got connected. And then I realized after a week I wasn't selling to Daniel, but he sold something to me. Not really sold, but he eventually converted me to be a part of his team. And that was early 2015 or late 2014. And now it's almost 2025, so I'm almost turning 10 years with Daniel. So um what I'm trying to impart is that communication, you always have to, it's not about that you'd have to be really great in communicating, but just keeping in contact with your client, not just with your client, but same goes with your customers, with your target market. That builds connection, and that would elevate that whatever you guys do have something to work on, you could resolve it instantly. So communication skills, it's not just how the way we talk, but how we actually take care and express our intentions with our clients and customers. Because eventually, the way that we have Filipino tongues, not all of us are gifted to speak fluently. Not all of us are gifted to speak like an Australian or a foreign tongue. So eventually that will develop. The more that you engage with your client, the more that you are going to absorb how they speak and what kind of communication they would want you to have with your customers. So that, and aside from that, if you'd like to practice more of your confidence, and we call that in the Philippines the arty way of speaking, you just have to look into the mirror, and from there you'd start to develop your confidence and the artist skills in terms of communicating. So that's all that I could impart. If you wanted to have any other tips than that, you could reach out to us, and we are hoping and we're excited to work with you in the future, and to collaborate with you, or anything that you need, we're here. That's all my take, Daniel.
Yeah,
The floor
that's
is yours.
perfect. That's it. No, I'm very happy I found Joy. Well, she found me, but it's been a really great 10 years. We've had lots of ups and downs in the business and all different challenges, but we've always stuck together and we've always worked hard on this. And then we have Liza and Ada now as well, and we have other people that work with us. And yeah, it's uh, essentially you just don't know where that's going to come from, where that right uh, contact you're going to work with, and so on. But yeah, all those skills are very key. I had something else in there around the communication, but it slipped my mind for a moment. But it might come back to me. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to tell you all a story, just to give you that added confidence around communicating and being on the calls and so on and talking. Is that I wasn't always as confident. Just so we're all on the page of that. That I started off, I'm actually very introverted, and I'm not an extroverted guy. So if we know the introvert, the extrovert, and when I was a teenager, I was working in a real estate office, and I wanted to be a real estate agent, and I started doing a cold calling job as well. And I would call people up and I would be doing market research or I'd be doing pre-sales. And I was in air conditioning, dripping in sweat, calling people going, yeah, can I talk? Is it the homeowner? Beep, beep. And that would push on for hours and hours and hours before I built up that confidence. And being very introverted, when I worked in a real estate office, I wanted to be. I remember this one pinnacle moment. I don't know if even the girls know this story, but the owner. I was very introverted. I was a teenager. I was about 16. Um, so this is a little while ago, but the owner of the real estate office said to me, because I wanted to be a real estate agent there, and he said, "You're not you don't talk to people, you don't engage with people. Do you really want to be a real estate agent? You can't. I don't think you can do it." That's what he said to me. I said, I can do it. I can talk to people because inside me, I could see myself being that confident." And he goes, "Well, what do you really want to do?" And I said, "I want to be an entrepreneur and travel the world." And he goes, "Oh, you won't do that. You can't talk to people." That's what he said to me. And I couldn't believe it. So from that moment forward, I made the conscious effort to be more outgoing, more extroverted, more confident. And over time, it came and the communications came. And now from observing other people and from learning and from taking on every bit of training that I could, I became more confident, and now I can read people and I understand people. Can see people's strengths and weaknesses, and I can see where they best fit in, and I can understand people when they communicate with me. I see you, and that came for over time. And it's definitely not they're not skills that if you look at that list and you're confident with a few of them or half of them or whatever it is, you don't have to be confident with 100% today. And I still improve on these things. I listen to audiobooks on leadership. I listen to audiobooks on doing better training, on doing better marketing. I'm always improving every single day. And it's relentless. It's ongoing because I don't want to be here where I am right now. I want to be up here. And that comes with time and developing those skills. And you're all on the call here today because you don't want to be here where you are. You want to be up here. So you're looking for something better. You're looking for something better. So it's already there. It's there. So I'll click to, unless somebody's got a question on this, I'll click to the next slide. Give it a click. So benefits of being a virtual assistant. So there's lots of benefits with this, and it's really about putting yourself in that position that you're valuable, that you got the skills, and you're offering that resource to the client, because you can look at these benefits because there is flexibility in the work hours. Because if you work, I don't fix I tend to keep the girls at the moment for a 9 a.m. Commitment, my 9 a.m. my time, just so I can touch base with them each day. But I don't monitor their hours that closely. I know what hours they're doing, and they're sort of their flexibility with me, and they jump on the call with us tonight, and we're very blessed to have them on the call with us tonight because they could really share some key insights from your perspective, essentially, because they've been where you are right now, whether you're partway through your career or engaging in the early days of things, they've been where you are, and opportunities to work from anywhere, whether you're a few, because essentially it's if you set up your digital setup, holiday season's coming up, you're going to go see family. Maybe the family's a bit of a distance from you. Maybe you're in the city. You just got to go somewhere with have a reliable internet. I remember when I was I'm in the Philippines, I'm looking for those internet cafes or those fixed line internets, and making sure that I can still maintain the work. Diverse range of clients and industries. We've worked with so many different things, so many different things. Over my time of being in marketing and so on, I've done 3 political campaigns. I've worked at the moment, we work with psychics, nutritionists, we work with e-commerce, we work with lots of things, restaurants, cafes, trades businesses, uh everything. And then we've got subscription sites and business coaches, and the list goes on and on and on. Whatever business you think of, they could do with the assistance of a virtual assistant. And there's so many jobs out there, not just because they want to cut their costing, but because they can't find enough people to fill them. So there's stacks and stacks of jobs in the admin space, and especially if you've got a flair for a certain area, a certain gift, and potential for a good income. What I always believe strongly, that if you have that communication and that rapport with your client or your employer, that if the business is doing well and you're being a part of that success, that you should be well looked after. That's my true belief, and and the girls will say that I stand by that as well. Yes. So, Liza, are you here? I don't
Yes,
know.
hello.
I don't know if Liza wants to say a few things about the benefits of being a virtual assistant.
Well, for me personally, is one of the best parts of working as a BA is it allowed me to spend more quality time with my family, and yeah, I can be there for the important moments, and I can maintain a healthy work-life balance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's definitely better coming from you, because although I've got the flexibility to have a bit more healthy work-life balance, because I've got amazing people working for me, I tend to just go and keep working. And if I have too much free
Yeah.
time, then I start something else. But
Yes.
but 100%. But that's good, Liza. I know that you're always happy in what you do, and yeah,
Always.
that's good. Joy wants to say something as well on the benefits of being a virtual assistant.
Yes, for me, number one is the flexibility in the work hours. That's pretty much the most important for me, because I do have pets, so my fur babies, they do have separation anxieties. That's why aside from the traffic reason, I prefer to work at home so I could stay with them. Like if Daniel do have Wilfie while he's doing this session, I do have my Charlie beside me who's listening to our conversation. And other than that, the potential for a better income, that's really, really important, because as we all know, life is hard. So we have to make it comfortable for us and for our family. So if you're working from home, or if you're doing virtual assistant or freelancing, there's a bigger opportunity for a better income. And the most important, aside from those two, is the new learnings, because that is something that you cannot fund. If you wanted to learn something, you'd have to go to school. And if you're going to enroll, there's only one particular course that you could master. Unlike if you're going to be a certified and a successful virtual assistant, you could learn this along the way. Like with Daniel, he mentioned earlier that website is not really my cup of tea, but I was able to learn through Daniel, as well as the tricks in doing social media posts, graphics. That's not really me. I'm more on communication and admin tasks and recruiting, but I wasn't aware that Daniel is slowly transitioning me into something. It's not that I'm not passionate about it, but it's something that I don't do. And then I realized after months that, oh, okay, so I know how to do this. It was Daniel's magic that he was able to make me learn new things and go out of my comfort zone. So that would be all for me, Daniel. And
That's
thank
perfect.
you. You know that we always appreciate the new learnings that you impart with us. We
Yeah,
appreciate it, sir.
that's okay. Well, sometimes I just throw things at you just to see if you're awake. Uh, I'm really interested. We've got a lot of quiet people in the room, and I just want to know that you're all getting value from this session, that you're learning a bit about being a virtual assistant. And I'd love to see just a couple of good or greats in the chat, just so we know that we're on the right track and we're all engaged. Because I know we got Queenie and we got Jeline and Bevelyn. Are we all on track with this? Yep, all good. So give me some hearts, give me some thumbs, give me something, give me something. I need to know. Great. Kath loves it. Aina's giving me a thumbs up. Pamela's liking it. Krisha's giving me a laughing face. She she knows I'm serious though, but I got a smile from Queenie. Smile, thumbs up from Anna Donny. And yeah, so I am very happy that we're all getting lots of value from this because I love doing this because yeah, very inspiring to unlock one's potential. That's good. That's what I'm here for. Because I want you all to succeed, whether we do something together or you go off in your own track. Because I really believe in the Philippines, and you're a developing country. You got to see that as you're part of this development and you're part of this movement in the Philippines, and you've got this absolute opportunity here to be part of that growth. And as we were talking about, you got limitless potential. So I want to see you harness that. Joy is very inspiring. She is very inspiring. Awesome. So we're all having a great time, and I'll move to the next thing. I'm hoping I'll really give you all a good taste of what you got to be looking at to become a successful virtual assistant, because that's what we're really here for. So, with everyone's permission, I know that we've touched on a lot of these different topics, and really that's the foundation. Whether you're choosing to go out on this own, look for those learnings, or if you're interested, with everyone's permission, if I can tell you all about what we actually do, what training we offer for virtual assistants entering the industry or just increasing on their skills, if everyone's happy for me to actually discuss that now, because I know that we've all also gone just a bit over time already, and if you stick around to the end, you get to hear me speak a bit of Tagalog and tell a few jokes in Tagalog. That's the key thing to stick around to the end. So if everyone's happy, we can talk about the course, and you can hear from Joy and Aina and Liza, and hear a bit more about being a virtual assistant, and then also hear my amazing jokes, which I've picked out just for you, and because every single day the girls laugh at my hilarious Tagalog jokes. I don't speak fluent though, so we're still working on my pronunciation. It's either a laugh at my joke or the laugh at the pronunciation of the words, but we're getting there. We're always learning, always learning. So we'll go through this and we'll talk about. Well, it's an up and coming course, but we've already run it. So what we're doing over this course, and we're changing the learning a bit because I'm not because the first session of the course goes for 3 hours. And I don't think you're going to get as much value of me redoing that 3 hour training, but you'll get more value out of me doing a live Q&A for an hour and actually going through different things that I didn't quite touch on over those 3 hours. So really our course, because we've got our foundation, our crash course that gives you all these skills, the master keys around developing the critical administrative skills, such as time management, organization, and effective communication, the tech proficiency. So we actually go through the popular tools and how to use them and how to utilize them for certain different case studies and different clients. We go through the client relationship management. So actually how to discuss and learn how to establish and maintain a professional relationship with your clients. We go through all of that. And we do the service offering and identifying what your actual niche is and how to stand out as a VA, which was a very favorite part of the course for a lot of people that jumped on for our last round, where they went through and they discovered what they really wanted to go into and what they wanted to focus on. As I said, that Joy is really my operations and my recruitment, my social media. Liza's really my follow up and my appointment setter, and she's now my web developer essentially because I've been training her to do that, to take over a lot of those tasks for me, and she's doing every single time she builds another site for me, another page, her skill level just goes up and up and up at every single bit of feedback. So it's looking for that right area that you want to go in, and Aina is very much my creative, my video editor, which you'll see a little graphic that she did for me a bit later, where I'm bopping on the screen just before the jokes. So so that essentially great. So really identifying what you want to do, and then business development. The course that we do at the moment, the crash course, is really about whether you want to work for someone as an employee or just an ongoing full-time contractor, or if you want to be having your own business. And we also touch into managing other people and bringing in other VAs underneath you and other people with other skills. So we really cater for both. Whatever your ambition is with this line of work, it goes on and on and on, because the people that we end up hiring for us and we place with employers, because we offer so much training, we don't call you a virtual assistant anymore. We call you a digital business manager, a DBM. Because you now more of a digital business manager, so you're managing all the elements of the client's business, more than just giving them assistance. You're actually taking that delegation away, and that's where you go to the next level, and you're in more demand, and it opens up a lot more doors, and the real world application. So we go through practical projects, and we talk about yeah, because so essentially there's 7 hours of pre-recorded training, which we go over, and then we will go through. At this stage, we're running the Q&As all the way through, probably a couple hours each week. And as you can see, I already go over time, and I say an hour, and it'll probably be an hour and a half or 2 hours, because I'll find things. Because what I like about these crash courses and what you'll see from those is I very much drive it by all of you asking questions, because you'll have questions as we go that need to be answered. And then I create more content because I want you to get the most value out of it. Because uh, essentially, sometimes you remind me of something that's really valuable that I need to share with you and everyone else. What participants can expect from our type of training? As you can see, it's very hands-on learning. So we're very hands-on. I like to discuss things with all of you, and I hope that more of you jump onto and actually have video chats with me. That is always my dream, and my part of the happiness of my training is access to supportive community and network. We've kicked off our Facebook group, and so you'll get not just getting us, you're getting all the other people learning on this track with you and growing and expanding. And so we've got actually a link that goes out later for the enrollment information. And we've actually had a couple more in there, but here's some of the testimonials from people that have gone through the course before. And as you can see, thank you for the informative training session. I truly appreciate the valuable insights and practical skills you share. The course was engaging and highly beneficial, and I'm excited to put what I've learned into practice. And I know Angela's going to do really well, because she's very switched on, and she's out there executing on what we've spoken about. I think that slide's in here, isn't it? The action one, Joy. It might be the next one. So session one was awesome. That was informative, and it gave me an insight on the VA normally does. I highly appreciate, and I would definitely attend tomorrow's session. That was another testimonial partway through that course. So we had a few more just popping around, but essentially, it's the first 3 hour course really goes into the depths of teaching how to actually do the role, and that was session one. Whoops. I've clicked it. I don't know if Joy, Liza, and Aina, would you like to jump on and say a few words while I break my session? Whoops. I keep pushing back, which it doesn't work like that.
All right. So I'm sorry, my mic is on mute. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
While we're waiting on Daniel, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. I saw that everyone is chatting on our chat box, but we're here. We could attend to any questions that you may have, anything, tips, clarifications. Feel free to jump on. Beverly, do you have any questions? Don't be shy, guys. We're always like this. We want you to be comfortable, be you. So anything that pops up your mind, feel free to ask. Christian, yes.
Hello. I just want to ask something. I hope you don't mind and
No, go
not be
for it.
offended. Okay. I just want to ask Sir Daniel, what's your thought about micromanaging? Is it part of the skills of the virtual assistant?
Of being micromanaged by the
Yes. Because I
I
saw that Miss Joy, she
yes.
learns everything that you want her to do. So something like is jack of all trades. So any thoughts, sir? Please
You
forgive
don't
me.
Yeah, no,
Forgive
that's
me
all good.
for asking this.
I don't micromanage as such. I give the my team, but I'm also a very different employer than most. Where you'll find the different employers. I don't like to micromanage because micromanaging where you're looking at each task and really honing down on them completing each thing and me having to check on them all the time isn't efficient for me. And the way I always see things, if I don't trust you, I don't keep you in my business. Because if I don't know that you're going to do the job that I've got you there, and that's where I expand the skill set. Where Joy can tell you that we haven't kept everyone that we've employed in the past, for different reasons. But micromanaging is definitely something that I don't like doing, but I like to open up opportunities. But of course, I realize that not every single task is going to be aligned with the ability or the passion of the individual. But for me, I like to expand on things. But if somebody if Joy or Liza or Aina are doing something and they're not very good at it, I tend to just don't keep giving them that same task. I tend to push them back onto things that they're more strong in. But you'll find that you'll have it depending because you're going to have good and bad employers, and you're going to have good and bad people that you work for or work with, and that's the nature of it. Some people are going to not treat you very nicely, where but you should be expected to have mutual respect, but that's just the nature of it. I can't guarantee how they're going to, but I definitely don't micromanage. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Daniel. Just to add, Christian, just to enlighten you, I think what Daniel did when he taught me about other skills is he actually wanted me to rediscover my strengths and skills. And it's an enlightenment for me. Like I wasn't really a social media savvy. On my personal account, I rarely post, even on stories. It would take me months or years. But when I started handling Daniel's Facebook pages, Instagram and Twitter and everything, that's where I get to enjoy social media. So it's like going out of your comfort zone, and you realize that your new learnings would get you enjoy what you do. And you'll realize that you are not working and you're enjoying the tasks that were given to you. In fact, you won't feel it as a tasks anymore. Like even Liza and Aina, I've noticed that even after work hours, oh, why are these girls still working? Because they're passionate at what they do. So they don't feel like working at all. Even on their rest days, they would give you some sort of send you a picture or a video. This is what I do. This would be for Monday. Okay, girls, why don't we rest for now? So that's a word. Awakening what your hidden skills and talents are and rediscovering yourself. So eventually you would get to experience this if you'd be working with a client. Like, I'm not saying this because Daniel is my client. He's not just my client. He eventually turned out to be one of my friends. And I appreciate every learning that he actually has imparted to every one of us. So that's just rediscovering and going out of your comfort zone, Christian. And I hope that answers your questions. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
I think Dinah has a question.
Continuous training. For yeah, Dinah's asking if it is it continuous training till we get a job. You can rewatch the training as many times as you like, and there will be continuous Q&A sessions because we haven't cut anyone off yet, even from the previous session. So even the people that jump on for the Q&A sessions, they're sort of jumping. They can jump on for your session as well if you choose to keep going with us. At the moment, when you see what we're actually charging for our crash course, we're actually going to double the price in the new year because it is very cheap, and we're actually not making anything on it at this stage because we just wanted to open it up and we wanted to find that skills as well, where we will probably most likely hire from our own training pool. But there's no guarantee of a position, but we'll be training. Basically, we'll be looking for those standouts for when we place new staff with clients. But it's just one of those. It's not really directed continuous training, but is the next slide that one, Joy, that goes over the training? Yes. So this is the course details, where it's module one, which is understanding and the benefits, and it goes well into more detail than what we did tonight. Because yeah, I did. This is about 3 hours worth. I did 3 hours of module one and two. So there's 3 hours of training amongst that, and by the end of it, everyone's so that they were all happy because I dumped out 15 plus years of experience into 3 hours of the do's and don'ts in those module one and two, and then I did another 2 hours of a module. I did 2 hours on module three, and then I did another 2 hours on module four and five. So then this time we're putting up the replays on those and then running the Q&As probably once a week until the end of the year. And then just for an hour or so, I'll jump on at a good time. And depending on the intake, we might do two a week, but you basically get an email saying those are on. And then after you've done the course, you actually become Brimble certified because we've got our assessment coming out now. And you actually get a profile on our website that you can reflect as you've done the base training of the crash course in VA. So when you go for a job or anything, you can actually reflect off my business that saying that you've already been trained by another business. So yeah, there's no additional slide. That's not the one we wanted just yet. But essentially, yeah, we're not going to do the jokes just yet. But at the moment, the course is only 299 pesos. So so it's very cheap at the moment for all of that training plus the Q&A sessions. But the end of the year, the course is going to double in price come January. So it's essentially the last time we did one of these free calls. Yeah, it's interesting because last time we had just a stack of. Are you going to provide us with a certificate after the course? Yes, we are. That's what we're setting up at the moment for our previous graduates. So we're going to have a certificate and we're going to have a profile for you on the website so employers can actually see you on the website reflecting that you've done that training. And we're adding more layers to that to try to help you to give you a boost into the workforce and into better positions. And also from this course, we're essentially opening up advanced training coming into the new year into each of the niche end of work. But yeah, at the moment it is 299 pesos, but yes, come January it will be doubling. You'll probably get an email in the morning about the course, but also we'll drop the. Have you got the enrollment link handy, Joy? I'll
One
drop.
moment.
I'll grab it. It's okay. I got it. I got it. Yeah, last time I think 90% of the free call, intro call jumped onto the onto the course, so it was very good. And yeah, we loved spending time with them, whether they jumped on for the replay or for the real. Yeah, I here we go. I got it. There is if you want to pay with Gcash, there is an additional 50 peso surcharge because we have to do it for a different way because I don't have Gcash facility just yet, so I have to run it outwards and then back in. So yeah, but that's all good. How does your VA course vary from others? The VA course varies from others because this is actually real world discussions, and you're actually getting the VA course from an actual client that you could have, setting expectations, and I set real world examples into the course. It's very it's more informative and more realistic. We go into the realities of being a VA, things to watch out for. We even go into keeping yourself safe in legalities. But I'm not a lawyer, but I go into the personal end of things. And it's an actual real life course. It's actually we filmed the original live, and then we're going to be doing the live event Q&As from here. So it's very much very different from the other courses. And I feel like that our intake, because I've trained many VAs over the time, and I feel like my intakes are more successful in their roles based on the fact that we're giving them you real world skills and real world input from real world Filipino VAs as a backing. Yes. Yes, Liza was on for all of the sessions. And also you get the Brimble certified listing on the website as that opens out this week. Yeah. So yeah, if there's any other questions. You'll need to, you've got options there where we will be sort of hiring from our own pool if we to put clients in because we do several different scenarios where either a client gets us to interview and place an employee with them, or they hire us to hire you and we manage you. But essentially, we'll be looking to try to do that. But at the same time, from this course, we do a lot of elements of how to find work. And it's all going to depend because there's so many variations of what a VA does. We can't guarantee work because for your this particular skill set that you're going in, it's just going to depend on the clients that we're dealing with at the time. But of course, we prefer Brimble certified clients because every single one of my internal staff members that we manage on behalf of clients, the client has committed, and we've committed to 2 hours of additional training every single month in new skills. So of course, by you already doing 7 hours plus of my training with the several 1 hour Q&A sessions and the other replays, you probably will amount to over 10 hours of training with me already, which means that you're trained and you're familiar with me and how I operate. So that is my preferable staff member. Yeah, hopefully that answers the question. You're welcome, Queenie. Internships. We're looking at this, Christian, but it's at the moment, as I said, that we don't. Maybe if we keep increasing the pricing of the course, we'll have more flexibility in that. But at the moment, we're not really. We don't really have the capacity for it because it's sort of by the time we run the Q&As and everything else, we're sort of at capacity of what we can offer in that particular course, being only 299 pesos, because the competitors are we've had a look at their courses and how they're situated and so on, and they just for the basics, they're charging over 1,000 pesos, and you're basically reading off a page, and you're not getting any of that video interaction or anything else like that. So we sort of stayed competitive because we wanted to offer a product that's actually going to that you pay for it because you're getting something that's real world that you can action, and you're more likely to really value that training strongly, and you also get the certification and that hands-on commitment from us to make sure that you understand the content. So yeah, we're sort of at the point where to organise an internship is a bit out of what resource we can commit at this stage. But we will try our very because I want to open up more opportunities. I want to employ more Filipinos and offer lots more. So yeah, any more questions? Anyone going to jump in and join up with us for some training? You can check out the landing page which I dropped in there, and let us know. All good, Christian. All good. I'd love to give you all far more, but it's yeah, the capacity is uh, yeah. There's a lot involved in it, and we've put a lot of resource into putting this together. But yeah, ideally we'll help. This will be the launch pad to get you into better things. Any more questions before I tell my fantastic Tagalog jokes? Would Liza or Aina like to say anything?
Would you like to jump in?
Great. I look forward
Hello.
to seeing you on there, Dana, for the Q&As.
Oh, there's
Cool.
Aina.
Yes, there's Aina.
Yes.
Aina's here.
Hello, guys. Good evening. Well, just a quick story. So I started working with Daniel. I'm not really sure if this is related, but I'm working with Daniel as a virtual assistant or as a digital business manager with him or a video editor. I started last August, and it is kind of challenging for me at times, especially if you're really new. But seeing the results of my effort is very rewarding from Daniel. And just like you guys, I also worked in BPO, and I realized that there's a lot of opportunity online. We just really have to look for the right people. And yeah, I can honestly say that I'm in a right work environment right now. Yeah. And if you wanted to have a work life balance with a nice, approachable boss, you should definitely meet our Daniel. He's always happy to share his insights and knowledge to aspiring VAs, especially here in the Philippines. Plus, I get to work with amazing teams with Miss Liza and Miss Joy. So yeah, there.
Thank you, Aina. That was great. If
And
there's
Aina is doing an amazing job,
She
right,
is doing
babe?
an amazing job. We're very she's the newest member of the team, the internal team, and we're very happy with Aina. She's doing great work. She continues to go from strength to strength, and she makes me look good. This video was a bit of a surprise, but
That's her.
yeah, that's it. I know. I was very surprised. And this is me back in 2019 when my client flew me over to Spain to talk in front of 1,000 people. So so I was hoping for 100 tonight, but I'm really happy. We got quality. We got quality over quantity, and we've still got a good amount of people still here because I know why they've stuck around. I just know that everyone stuck around for my jokes because they heard there was going to be jokes told by somebody that looks like Chris Hemsworth, and they had to stick around.
I should have shared our pictures when you visited Daniel. Maybe on your next session,
Yes, on the next
be
session.
sharing your pictures. He was here last May and June. So we did a lot of in-person trainings, and he was able to ride a tricycle. And he was
Nice.
surprised riding a tricycle. He ate lomi, sangyup with Liza, and we had discussion at Sting in Batangas when Daniel visited me in Batangas along with Liza. So I'm just gonna tell the story in the future, but not now. Just it's a secret, but I'll spill the secret soon.
Yes. I was a bit nervous because I didn't really fit inside the tricycle. Yes. I was quite because I over here I'm pretty much an average height. I'm a bit of more of a solid build, but I'm an average height. But in the Philippines, I'm a giant at 5'11". So it's good. It's good fun. So we'll open out and let's do the jokes because I think the jokes is nice. Now we've done all the serious end of things. We can do the jokes. Let's start with this one. I'll bring it over to my center screen so I can see it. Ano ang tawag sa kotse ni Jollibee?
Ano po?
Ano po?
Erday BMW.
Okay.
Okay, we got three jokes, so bear
Okay.
with me. I'll play the animation again just because. There we go. And this one's a favorite. It's a favorite. It's a ano ang binabagay nag doktor sa ibong ma sakit.
Ano po?
Erday treatment.
Treatment.
Treatment. It's a sick bird.
Treatment.
Yes. Everyone stakes around for the jokes. This was a favorite. So everyone likes this one. It's Bucket Madaling Timbanjin ang Maga Isda.
Bakit po?
Kasay may sarili silang scales.
Scales, yes.
Scales. Yes. How do you weigh the fish?
That's a funny
Yes.
one, But we love your jokes. You know that. But
Yes.
we've witnessed how you've learned to be a Filipino by starting to learn our language.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I look for someday I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna walk into an event or meet with some of you because I really want to do. I think because we're doing so many of these live events, we're going to have a meet and greet next time I'm there. So we'll actually get a chance to meet some of the students in person, and that's exciting. And then
Yeah.
you can hear my jokes in person. I'll have a bit of a stand-up comedy show.
Yes, that's why we've come up with the bucket list because Daniel
Yes.
keeps on asking about bucket. Why is it like this? Because
Yes.
wanted to
Well,
introduce him to some Filipino food that he keeps on asking. So maybe when he comes back. But I think his favorite was the sisig and the sangyup.
yes. Well, over here, translate bucket into English, it means something very different. A bucket list is like the list of things that you want to do before shuffle off the planet. So it's always yeah, it's interesting, but it's good. It's good. I love that. Love learning the culture and learning more about all of you. And no, I did not try balut. I cannot. I couldn't. I smelt the balut and I went. "Nah, I can't eat that."
Not the dinuguan either.
Great. Look forward to having you on the call.
No
Didn't-
dinuguan tayo na.
Did I try that?
No.
No. Next
Daniel,
time.
he tried sinigang, and yes, sisig,
At least
pansit, food, sangyup, and
I,
I haven't shared with Daniel the cashew nuts. I almost sold him for
oh
cash
yes, yes. There was an exchange for cashew nuts.
because he looks like Chris Hemsworth in person. He's a super, super, super tall foreigner, seen
For
walking and
yeah.
funny, bubbly. So, okay, I'm spilling the secret. So there are these vendors in Batangas. I used to say in Batangas, in Taal. So Daniel and I and Liza were at the cathedral. So the vendors were asking, who is he? Is he an actor? Oh, he is. He's popular in Australia. So I love cashew nuts. It's being sold for $100 per cup. So they wanted to have pictures with Daniel. So I told them, okay, you could get free pictures with Daniel. He's popular, but you'd have to give me buy one take one of the cashew nuts and another freebie. So they took it. So I told Daniel they wanted to have pictures with you, and he was so busy having pictures with the vendors while I'm eating the shared with him, and he
That's
asked
right.
me the cashew nut because of your pictures. So go have some pictures with them, and I'll take all the cashew nuts.
Yeah,
That's
so when I come back to the Philippines, you can all use me for cashew nuts.
So now I relocated in Antipolo because there are more cashew nuts in here, and I invited Daniel over. So imagine, guys, I'm going to have tons of cashew nuts when he
Yes,
comes back.
that's my purpose. So I think we will do a meet and greet though, and we'll probably do it at a restaurant or something like that, and we'll invite everyone that's come on our free sessions. If anyone can get to Manila, we'll do it somewhere pretty central in there. I'd love to go. I know some people are in Cebu. I'd love to go to Cebu as well. Shangri-La? Oh,
Forward.
yes, we'll have to go.
No, Ryzen, he hasn't tried Dinglagang Mane.
No. I've got to come back soon. I wanted to be back there at the end of this month, but it's going to look more like it's early next year. First quarter of next year, I'll be back on the shores of the Philippines, over from Australia. I'd actually like to move there in another year or so, but we will see how we go. And then I can really read that slide, that here in the Philippines slide for the mindset. But I imagine that when I'm moving over there, the beauty of being an online working kind of guy is I'll just be able to run these sessions anyway from anywhere that I end up in the Philippines. We can run these online sessions. We still run the training. Yeah, and just as you go through the training for those that have jumped on the course, I'm really happy that you decided to join us. If you've got any questions or anything, let us know. And if it turns into something that I think will be highly valuable, or you and I think will be highly valuable, we'll do another recording for the group and offer that extra value. But then, yeah, from this, the crash course really does give you the skills to go find work and extra. So I'm very happy with how it all came together for that, and we really delivered on the value. Very much a team effort from us to make sure that everyone that joins up really has all that value and those skills. It's all broken down nicely, so it doesn't feel overwhelming because sometimes it will be. When will be the next course? Right now, you can jump in and you can start today on the replays, and the certification is going to go up again. And so after you've watched the three sessions, you can do the certification. Sometime next week, I'll do a live Q&A. I might even do two next week, and aim for two different sessions just to make sure that I sort of stagger it because we're going to make sure that we do as much as we can before the end of the year. Because then I was going to run what I might do even the last week of the year is 3 days in a row I might jump on for an hour and I might run through just the overview of the three sessions again, and all the modules, but not as in much detail as on the replay because after 3 hours of talking nonstop, I dropped out so much value, and it was just it was a lot. It was a lot to drop out, and I don't think I'd do it justice a second time round. But I will be able to add the additional value that after you watch the course, Dinah, that you jump on the Q&A, you'll no doubt have a stack of. We really need a camera. So, as a VA, we really need a camera. You don't need a camera, but it helps to have a good video conference of a camera. But if it's not in your budget at the moment, it's not a 100% necessity. You just gotta really what you gotta do like with any, I tell you, with any business is you just start where you are with what you've got, and as soon as you go through that course, actually just start executing on what you learn in there. I think that one slide that we didn't add in, Joy, is the one that I was looking for. What computer specs do you need to start the job? It really varies on what you're doing as such. It depends on how much editing and things you're doing. You don't need anything too highly, like an office computer would be enough. I'm just trying to think of what's available in the Philippines because you wouldn't need anything too, as long as it runs okay. Because if you're just starting out, you wouldn't be doing any high-end video editing like Aina is.
But for basic, you
Yeah,
could use the i5.
yeah,
For,
yeah. An i5 processor would do the job for you in the early days. Just looking. Yeah, 8 gig of RAM would be optimal for just the early end of things. So you don't, yeah, but as long as you're gonna provide some equipment. uh, you drive a hard bargain for 299 pesos. Ah, I wish. Megabytes per second on your internet. If you're getting like 15 to 25, you should be able to get away with it.
but if the
But it's
difference for the internet plan is just roughly around $300, personally, I'm using PLDT and Converge, so it's future proof, and you do have a backup. If for instance that eventually you'd be unlocking your graphic design skills or video editing
yes,
skills that you're ready, at least 100 Mbps if the budget permits. But whatever
yes.
wide internet connection you have, you may start that with admin tasks.
Yes, you just need to start where you are with what you've got and find a task that fits your current budget and your current setup and not let because essentially if it's like the saying goes, if you start today in the days or months later or the years, you'll be happy you started today. So you've got to start where you are. It comes down to that mindset. And if you're yeah, that's the slide I was looking for that I wanted to include in here. If you're starting, you start today with what you have, you execute on the knowledge, because knowledge is not power, knowledge plus action is power. So even the things that you learned today, you can already start considering, start thinking about, start working out what your niche is and what you're passionate about, where you think your skills will lie, whether you're a creative or you're a talker or you're a to work out where your skills lie, what industries you're interested in. If you've worked in, if you've worked other jobs that are external to the VA space, but you worked in like a even a warehouse or a shop or things like that, what products do you know about? Those sorts of things are things that could come into play with you stepping into a VA role. Maybe you worked in the family business and you're really good at organizing things, or because something that I love about the Philippines, And I don't know if I say it enough, is the entrepreneurial spirit of the Philippines. Like you walk down the street and everyone's starting a business, everyone's selling something. That entrepreneurial spirit is so rich and flowing there. I think always the biggest thing is that the limitation's always in the mind because they think that that's as far as they can go. But there is no limits. You start there and you're looking for that growth. You're looking for that next stage. You're looking for where you're going. Okay, I've made this bit of money. I can purchase a better laptop. I can improve my internet. I can do I can do this course. I can learn about this. Okay, I can't afford to do this course, but I can go and log into that software for a free trial so I can work out if I can use Canva, if I can work out how I can use those tools. If I watch it, okay, I can't afford this, so I'm going to just go watch some videos on that. I'm going to improve my communication skills through what I have right now. I have a phone in my hand. I can watch videos on communication on YouTube, on negotiation. I can better myself. I can start putting myself in the right space, in the right mindset. I can organize my life. And that's basically all this is about. And when you do that, you don't have any limits because you're getting yourself into that. You're moving yourself forward, and it's those steps from that mindset slide. It's those steps because small progress is better than no progress, and that's really what I want to. If you part from here and you don't do anything else with us, I hope you mark those words that whatever, even if you watch this course and you go, you know what, being a VA is not for me. And it's not something that I want to do. At least consider, open up the mind, and work out exactly what you want to do, because the limitations is only by the mind and what you can push yourself through to do. In the yeah, that's hopefully what everyone takes from this, even if they don't, even if I never see you again. But anyway. Risen. I remember when I was a dancer, I edited the music we used in every competition. The editing music and adding effects on it is a skill. It is a skill if you find the right client that requires that. But you'd actually find that there's dance schools all over the world that would probably say to you, well, you've got experience doing these things for the competitions, and that if you add on the admin and the organization, because these dance schools are always looking for students. So if you became better at social media and you added that music and you added that competition video and you did some of those cuts, then you could be the virtual assistant for those dance schools. It'd actually be a niche down that you'd be a virtual assistant for dance schools because you know what they require. So it's definitely a skill. 100%. You can bring anything to the table. If you can add value to a business, you can be their assistant because that's what they want. A business wants to be more efficient. They want to improve their profit. They want to be, yeah. That's what they're looking for. Yes, Josh, you can definitely do that, my friend. You can definitely animate a short cartoon short story in CapCut. And especially if the business requests that, you could actually a small VA role that if you can do that effectively, just go open a Fiverr account right now and start making money. A Fiverr or a freelancer or anything, because that's still a virtual assistant skill. That's still a virtual assistant step. And if you can do that effectively, just do it. Just start. Because then you generate the money, you increase your skills, you expand into other areas, and then you go to an employer. I can do all this for you because really, yeah, as I said, I want to delegate out things that I don't have time to do. And an animation short cartoon, because stories are the most powerful thing in a sales presentation. So if you can get really good at storytelling through your cartoons and storytelling on behalf of your client, that would be a massive thing that opens up so many doors for you in this space and increases your earnability. That's all good, Dinah. We're not going anywhere. But yeah, but you've still got a month and a half before we go with a price. Just because then we can offer even more. Because we wanted to really get everything in line and make sure. Because yeah, at this stage, every student we haven't had a single person that didn't get the value out of it that they believed that they would, and every student that we've spoken to could see the value of where it's at. But yes, you still have a month and a half before we get it going, and I'll be running those regular Q&As because I really want to. I want to offer, although I've been talking to some of my friends and they're saying, "Why are you offering that all that additional value?" And I say because I want them to do well. So yes, of course you can, Dana. Of course you can. We're not gonna play any what you see with the link and everything like that. I'm not playing any games with the pricing or trying to close you on the spot. Essentially, we want people to jump into that course that really truly feel like they're going to get the value that I've shown them. I want you to. I don't want to feel like you. I don't want you to feel pressured. I'm increasing the price because that's just because more students, more overhead, more costing, and we want to be able to keep offering it. So we need to increase it at the end of the year. But yeah, that's the pressure. That's all. Josh says I was just doing for fun video, but no income. Thank you for open doors. That's good, Josh. So yeah, I hope that whether you come do anything else with us, Joshua, I hope you do really well, whatever you choose to do. And there's so many limitless possibilities. And making money is just about solving problems for people. That's all it is. The small because you're earning when you jump in as a virtual assistant. I would say that's great, Risen, and there's always possibilities with us, and we're looking for those right people, and there's the possibility there that. But I'm not. Yeah, I don't promise anything with employment, but we're always looking for the people that are motivated and are hungry to work and build on those skills. But with that, that money making is you're making money because you're solving problems. And when you're only solving little problems, you're only making little bits of money. But when you're solving bigger problems, and you're making more money. So that's how you got to look at it with a client that your income will go up. So the entry level skills that you come in hit that level of your skill, and that's your income just there. But as soon as you increase your skills and you're getting more experience, your income goes up there, and you just keep going. And with Joshua's skill, if he's creating something that truly creates an income and creates a story and creates opportunity, his income goes up because he's turning that skill into something that creates value for the client, which creates money for the client, which creates money for that they can pay you, and or that creates something that you create your own products and your own opportunity. Joed? Yes, yes, we'll make sure that we get you into the group because we're going to engage a lot more in that group at the moment. I think it's got a few outstanding uh, requests at the moment, but we're definitely going to start engaging heavily in that group so we can offer ongoing support and new bits of because essentially, of course, we always will drop out more opportunities and more knowledge into into the group and offer more opportunities to the people that to those that jump on and become students because you're jumping into the program, so we're going to make sure that we always value that you've put your trust in us to give you the right training. So yeah, well, I'm probably going to wrap up unless we've got any really burning questions. It's a bit after 11 o'clock over here, so I'm going to just crawl back to get some sleep. Oh, you're asking if I've got it's not a Philippe Green dial. It's only a Casio. It's still a nice watch, but it's not a $1 million potato. Yeah, maybe maybe in another 12 months. We'll see. Yeah, but those are really nice watches. And I do love my watches, and I sourced out this one because I loved it, but it's a Casio, and I really bought this one because it's very much an everyday wearer, and it's hard wearing, being a G-Shock. Cool, cool, cool. Is there any, if there's no more questions, I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll drop that link again, and you will get the link on the email as well. So yeah, and if you've got any more questions, feel free to shoot them in, and myself or Joy or Liza will answer the questions. And even during while you're doing the course or anything like that, there's we're here to help you. We want you to be successful. Cool. If there's nothing else, I'm going to close off. I look forward to seeing you all in the Q&A for those that jump into the course, and we'll be announcing through the email lists when I do come over, and we'll make sure that we allow a bit of time, and we'll book a venue so I can come and meet people in person. And hope to, and if you get some value out of this, and you completely shift a few things around for yourself over the next few weeks, months, or years, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love for you to send us in an email and let us know that you got value out of anything that we've said on here, anything that we've discussed. So, because I've got a lot of faith in the Philippines. I believe in the Filipino people to do amazing things.
Yung tambak na ang hugasin mo doon, maghugas ka na. Lagi na galang akong paghuhugasin niyo ng pinggan.
Yeah, what Donna said.
Looks like she was talking to her kids
Yeah,
about dishes.
I know. I felt like I was getting told off. The mother language translates, even if you don't understand.
We feel you, Dana. That's all good.
Okay. Uh, have an amazing evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I shall see you all again soon.
Thank you for tonight, Daniel. Everyone,
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Have a wonderful and amazing evening. Feel free to reach out anytime.
Yes, we'll be here, and those can get excited because those that have registered can start watching those replays, and I'll make sure that I send it an email tomorrow booking in our Q&A sessions.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel,
It's okay. Very welcome.
of the team. Spoon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.